boy, found this shirt. That's fun. My hair is extra poofy today. You know, they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And to these beautiful, blue, sometimes crossed, heavily astigmatized peepers, the Les Paul or single cut shape is a beauty they could behold until their little eyeball hearts give out and they go to little eyeball heaven. However, over the 19 years my ancient withering husk has played guitar, my taste for these diabolical love machines has naturally become curated. Because Les Pauls aren't just any other regular old signature guitar. It is one of the most recognizable silhouettes in all of music. And there are a lot of different takes and variations on the Les Paul. We all know I am the head glazer-in-chief over here at Big Les Paul, but just like everyone else, I developed these cool things called opinions. So there are ones that I like, and ones that I don't like. Now, we have already spent plenty of time on this channel talking about some of the best looking Les Pauls out there, mine specifically. But today we are going to be talking about some of the ugliest Les Pauls in existence. Yeah, it may be the best guitar shape literally ever, but boy, leave it to the most evolved species to find ways to mess it up. Because my goodness, there are some busted looking Les Pauls out there. You know how they say you can't polish a turd? Well, no one ever says this, but you can also take something that's already just great or amazing even, and just poop on top of it. What is up, you homely, horse-loving humdingers? Dan here. I know you guys are all sick of hearing about Fender being a whiny little tattletale and how they're going after PRS specifically now, but PRS is like, no, bring the smoke. If you're asking me, I think Paul Reed Smith could genuinely beat up most people in the guitar industry. Look me dead in the eyes and tell me this guy doesn't have that dog in him. Bud over at Fender only has a dog's name, so if we put them in the same room together, we're probably only gonna be able to upload that video onto Twitter. And don't get me wrong, I love watching my fair share of catfights on there. Like, that's all that app's good for. But I don't want to be just the 69th guitar YouTuber talking about Fender being a bully today. So instead of pandering to the mega corporation that clearly just wants to be the center of attention, we're gonna do what we do best around here and focus on them good old Leslie Paulsons today. We all know the Les Paul guys are super laid back and humble, so surely they won't mind being the butt of the joke today. They are all definitely secure enough within themselves to handle that in a healthy way. Because boy, I tell you what, I am about to use my freedom of speech while I still somewhat have it. I got a hot take or two, as the youth would say. Hot takes that would get weapons of war shoved in my face if I said them in the same room as a Les Paul Facebook group. But hey, it is not my fault that the original Cherry Sunburst Les Paul Standard looks like a sunburn. Yeah, the Coca-Cola of Les Paul finishes doesn't really do it for me, which is fitting because neither does Coke, by the way. I just don't like how it makes my throat feel. It's weird. Dr. Pepper is so much better. I don't know, Cherry Sunburst or Heritage Cherry Sunburst, whatever the hell they're calling it these days, it's just never done it for me. Literally all the other burst colors that derived from Sunburst are way better. I know it came first, but Sunburst just looks like Honeyburst having an allergic reaction, especially when the burst isn't done right and the red and yellow are just like very stark and don't really fade into each other good. It looks like a zit. It looks like someone's skin that is very angry because they are suffering from a staph infection and jaundice at the same time. Thank God that fart-ass red faded off most of the originals, because if this was the only burst color that's ever been available, this might still be a BMX channel. Gold Tops, the Diet Coke of Les Paul finishes. I'm sorry guys, Gold Tops have always just kind of been a little boring to me. I don't know why, I like gold. In theory, I should like these guitars a lot, but they've just never stuck out to me. They've just never tickled my particular pickle, if you will. However, one thing I didn't reiterate in the beginning is just because something is ugly doesn't mean it's bad. Like, I like a lot of ugly guitars. And yeah, Gold Tops, when they're brand spanking new, they're a little boring. I'm sorry, that's just me. You don't have to believe, you don't have to think that way, it's fine. These are all just my opinions, it's okay. You don't have to call your therapist. Who am I kidding? You guys are too pussy to go to therapy. Don't put more holes in your drywall, Kyle. It's okay if we don't agree. A brand new Gold Top is just a little boring to me, and it wouldn't be the first Les Paul that I reach. Honestly, it probably wouldn't even be the 5th Les Paul that I reach for, but that's neither here or there. However, old Gold Tops are a different story, because over time, for whatever reason, that finish likes to age like milk. They turn green. Like, why do they turn green? It is objectively ugly. It looks like they have a disease. But you know what? I like it. I would so much rather have a crispy green zombie Gold Top than a brand spanking new boring one. Gold Tops also just tend to come with my least favorite specs on Les Pauls. Like those big old Brickzilla-sized baseball bat necks that Les Paul guys slobber over for some reason, or any Les Paul with P90s. It looks like butt. I'm not saying it sounds like butt. I like the way P90s sound, but I do not like the way they look. Especially if it's one that has 3 P90 pickups, because then they look like a hostage wearing a C4 vest. Really, it's just the soap bar look. Because like the Matt Hafey Epiphone 7-string Les Paul, it comes with Fishman humbucking pickups, but they're the dumbass soap bar ones, so it just decimates the look of that guitar. It's so sad. Single pickup Les Pauls, overall, I think look strange enough to be considered ugly, but I like it. A lot, actually. However, when they do the single pickup thing, a lot of the time they'll only put just a wraparound tailpiece. And Gibson doesn't make a wraparound tailpiece that you can adjust the intonation on. Most of the time, they literally just get a regular old stop bar and just use that as the bridge. And every time I see that, I can't think about anything else other than how booty cheeks the intonation on that guitar must be. The Zoot Suit Les Paul looks like a bitch-ass jawbreaker in like the worst way possible. There's this poor thing. It looks like Joseph Mengele got his hands on it. And then there's also whatever the hell this is. If the vast infinite chaos of the multiverse is to be believed, then there should be a universe out there that is very, very similar to ours. But the only difference is that people are Les Pauls. Think of it like the Rick and Morty gag, to where maybe in this universe, people are the musical instrument and Les Pauls are the people. You know what I'm saying? And somewhere on this world, there is a little Les Paul M. Night Shyamalan. And one day, Les Paul M. Night Shyamalan is going to make a Les Paul horror movie about Les Paul aliens. And the Les Paul aliens in this Les Paul movie are going to look like this. And that got me thinking, if there is a society and a whole world of Les Paul people, then there's probably Les Paul racism also. Suddenly the name Les Paul Supreme becomes a lot more questionable. I already know blue Les Pauls would be the ones that get discriminated against the most. For some reason, the Les Paul world hates the color blue. I don't know why. It's the best. But yeah, in the Les Paul universe, blue Les Pauls are definitely the ones getting kidnapped by Les Paul ICE agents right now. And then it's so interesting because like, would the schools be full of Les Paul Juniors, or would they be full of those little mini like 3/4 scale Les Pauls? It's so interesting. We can make a full video about this. Yeah, moving on. We were talking, speaking of Les Paul Supremes, I don't like the new ones. They are $4,000. They're supposed to come with AAA flame maple tops. I've yet to see a single one that even looks like it has a AA top on it. And all the finishes suck. Like Fireburst might be the worst Les Paul finish I have ever seen. It's like everything I don't like about Les Paul finishes put into one. And then the Blueberry Burst Les Paul Supreme, like what's going on with that thing? Why is it the ugliest version of Blueberry Burst that Gibson has put out? And that's like the most expensive Blueberry Burst thing they make. The new ones also don't come with back binding, and that is just, that's so lame. The way I've always looked at Les Paul Supremes is they're like Les Paul Customs that are just trying way too hard. The older ones were cool because they came with the globe inlay on the headstock, they had back binding, and then the backs were just solid. Like you see what I'm talking about right here. There are no cutouts on the back of this guitar for the control cavities. So how the hell did they wire this thing up? That is trying too hard, but in like a cool way. Whatever these new Supremes are doing is just kind of corny. The new Supremes are like the price tag of a Les Paul Supreme without any of the cool things about a Les Paul Supreme. This next section I just called Tesla colored Les Pauls. And it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a color that looks like it was just ripped out of Tesla's catalog. And they suck. They're like the least entertaining version of a color imaginable. It's like in their little boardroom where they're like, okay, we're gonna do these colors right here, but we are gonna make them not fun to look at. We are gonna drain as much life out of them as physically possible. I think those might actually be the most boring finish that you could pick for any guitar. Rebel Flag Les Pauls. These things are really corny. I gotta make a video talking about Rebel Flag guitars. I have put off that fun for so long. Like, guys, the annoying orange lasted longer than the Confederacy. Let's calm down a little bit. Personally, I prefer my Les Pauls to be based off of the other Confederate flag, but hey, that's just me. Probably the most famous Rebel Flag Les Paul is Zakk Wylde's, and that's because Ozzy Osbourne did the right thing and set it on fire. Also, any of Zakk Wylde's graphic Les Pauls after the bullseye, they just weren't doing it for me. He hit the bullseye right on the bullseye with the bullseye. After that, it was just a little too crazy for me. Like the camo bullseye, those are just two designs just clashing. The 2015 Gibson Les Paul headstock with the Les Paul 100 signature. This right here single-handedly dropped the value of every 2015 Gibson Les Paul by a good 10% because it is so ugly. There's also these 2018 high performance Les Pauls, and man, they look silly. I don't think we're ever gonna get direct mounted pickups in a Gibson Les Paul ever again because of this. They only did this for a year. The next year they brought them back, but they put chrome pickup covers. They were just trying anything to up the price by like another $1,000. It was like two terrible decisions back to back. It's like they were like, take the pickup rings off. Ew, never mind, put them back on, but make them chrome. Okay, this obviously isn't working. Let's just file for bankruptcy. Any Les Paul with a Bigsby. I hate these big, stupid pieces of shit. The tuning stability is bad enough. It is truly the barbaric dental headgear of the guitar world. If you like Bigsbys, I hope you get hit in the head with a guitar that has a Bigsby on it. Hopefully you get hit hard enough that it fixes whatever's going on in that little thinker of yours. Any Les Paul that got a perimeter burst finish instead of a teardrop burst finish got nerfed like a good 20%, especially when it's by Gibson or Epiphone. For some reason, their perimeter bursts just look so bad. I don't know why. Mini humbucker Les Pauls. Again, Les Pauls just need a full-sized humbucker. It looks weird with anything else. Maple fretboards on a Les Paul. Why are we still trying this? It is 2026. Like, it's okay to give up at a certain point, guys. It's just not gonna work. And maple fretboards feel gross. And then just Les Paul copies that look like their mother abused substances when they were in the womb. Yeah, people really have to go crazy designing their version of a Les Paul because Gibson will kill your family in front of you if you make it look too similar to a real Les Paul. And some people, they just butcher some aspects of it. But it's not just the other brands that will commit war crimes on this body shape. The Gibson Nighthawk also exists. Like, what were we doing there? Did Quaaludes get introduced into the factory when we made this? I don't know. The first time I ever saw a Gibson Nighthawk, I had to call in flaccid at work. It's bad. It's so bad that I think we gotta wrap up the video right here. I didn't even scratch the surface of busted Les Pauls that are out there. I know, it seems like you guys are getting a little burnout on the tier lists. So let me know if you guys want more of these. But that's gonna wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, give me your thoughts and opinions. I love to hear what you guys have to say. Share the video around. A Horse Running, Solar Flare, Rob Heath, Jester MH, Sabrina Baker Clone, Scott Toman, Big Tills, Corpse to Crazy, Ollie Gilbert, Mr. Cause, Robert Dalen, Macdo Cheese, K. Ryan Prasad, John Evans, Bob Threaton, Scoots Magoots, David McCanich, DLA Rocket Jank, Jay Graphics, Lonnie JC, X-Man Supreme, Cosmic Pasta, Black Garlic Jr., Guitar Betty, and Brian M. Bud 777. These honeys are my current channel members and their support really does mean a lot. If you want to join them, get a shout out in my longer videos, get access to the members only videos, and just help support this channel in a bigger way, you can go down there, click the join button, tier start as low as 3 schmeckles. There's also the super thanks button down there if you just want to give me some money, but I'm done being a tool. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I will indeed see you in the next one.